So here is my reskin of Egypt. Egypt is now going to be Ptolomaic and based off of the Egypt that fought at the Battle of Raphia. The Battle of Raphia is one of the historical battles in vanilla Rome. And at the time, Egypt was ruled by Ptolemy IV. So it was a Macedonian Greek empire that ruled over a population of native Egyptians. But they started having trouble fielding all Greek armies, so they started recruiting the native Egyptians to fight and train them in the Greek way of fighting. So this unit here in the front, this is the Pharaoh's guards, and they're still Pharaoh's guards, they're just now Greek looking. They're typical Macedonian phalanx, and this guy in the front is the officer, and this one here is the general. Now this unit was, I think they were called Nile Cavalry. Now they're Ptolemaic Cavalry. These are basically the companions of Egypt, the elite cavalry, and they also look very Macedonian with their armor and their helmets. This unit was Nubian spearmen, but now they're Egyptian pikemen. So these represent the native troops that the Greeks trained to fight in a phalanx. Another native unit here is I think they were called Desert Cavalry, and they were the Axman cavalry. They're now native Egyptian cavalry, and they fight with swords. And now for the chariots. These are the Egyptian heavy chariots, also driven by native troops. And then the light chariots, these are archers. Now the Ptolemies also, in addition to recruiting their native population to fight for them, they had to start bringing in mercenaries to fight for them. Now in Rome too, there's a unit called Galatian Royal Guard, and many of the Egyptian pharaohs had elite units of Gauls that fought for them. The Galatians were Gauls that tried to invade Greece, and they were defeated and ended up migrating to Anatolia, which is modern-day Turkey, and they created their own empire there, but they also served in the armies as mercenaries of a lot of the empires of the Middle East. So this unit represents those Gauls that fought for the Egyptians. The Egyptians also recruited Judeans to fight for them. So the Egyptian slingers are now Judean slingers, and they look very Jewish to me. The Egyptians also recruited Libyans to fight for them. So on the Libya was basically between Carthage and Egypt, so the Libyans went both ways and they fought for the Carthaginians and the Egyptians. So I think at the Battle of Raffia they had thousands of Libyan Hoplites that fought for Egypt. So this unit, which was, I think they were called Nile Spearmen, they're now Libyan Hoplites. And there also were thousands of Libyans that fought on horseback for the Egyptians at the Battle of Raphia. I think they had like 3,000 Libyan cavalry. So the Nubian cavalry is now Libyan cavalry. The Pharaoh's bowmen are now Cretan archers. There were about 500 Cretans that fought for the Egyptians at the Battle of Raphia, and Cretans fought everywhere. They fought for the Romans, the Carthaginians. Pretty much they were such good archers that everybody wanted them. So now the elite archers of Egypt are now going to be Cretan archers. And this unit were skirmishers, and I copied this unit also from Rome 2. For Egypt in Rome 2 there is a unit called Carrion Axman. The Carrion Axman were Greeks and Thracians that colonized Anatolia, and they served as mercenaries for a lot of the empires of the Middle East at the time. So they were javelin throwers that fought with axes. Now this unit are Nubian bowmen, and they represent the African troops that fought for the Egyptians. And I also reskinned the peasants as Nubian spearmen, because the Egyptians did recruit troops from the south of Egypt. So that's all the units. I think I might have missed a couple for Egypt, but I like this Egypt better than the ancient Egyptian Egypt that they portrayed in vanilla Rome. And just a reminder, this mod is for vanilla multiplayer, so you can use it online against people that don't have the mod. And I'm getting closer and closer to releasing this, and when I'm done it'll be available for download. I'll put links on my channel.